Hi, I'm Chris Lewis, engineer for the Lakeville Fire Department, and welcome to another edition of On Call. The goal of this program is to educate and inform the citizens of Lakeville about how their all-volunteer fire department trains and responds to emergencies. Let's take a look at what's coming up on this edition of On Call. We start things off with a visit to an evening training session involving small hand tools. Next, Fire Chief Mike Meyer highlights daytime training with the Dakota County Special Operations Team. In Ask the Firefighter, Adam Harklerode, a firefighter from Station 2, counts the number of fire vehicles in the department. I will get you caught up on the latest happenings around the fire department. And Spot the Fire Dog discovers what's included in a firefighter's turnout gear. Tonight we're at training here in Lakeville, and joining me is Captain 2 Tabor Aiken. Tabor, thanks for joining me.
You're welcome, Chris. Thanks for having me.
So what are we doing here tonight?
Well, tonight's objective is small tools and ladders. And so we are fortunate enough to have 2 homes in Lakeville that are going to be torn down. The city owns them to expand odds. We've got one here that's behind us and one next door that Station 3 is using. And this is giving us an opportunity to work on our objective in a real-life-like scenario like we might run into in an actual home with an unknown floor plan. That's probably one of our biggest objectives here is, as you can see, there's smoke in this house. We're using artificial smoke, and that means that the firefighters are navigating an unfamiliar floor plan in conditions they might really encounter.
So what are we actually concentrating on if we're not cutting the house up or there's not actual fire?
Yeah, so the focus is using a couple of resources that are a regular part, which are small tools and ladders. An example of small tools would be a chainsaw. Some of our extrication tools are gas power tools that we use on a regular basis. And ladders, quite simply ladders. And for Station 2 and 3, we do not have a ladder truck assigned to us, so we're practicing with ground ladders. So specifically one of the things that we're practicing tonight is using ground ladders to access a second story or upper level of a house, either to get firefighters in to do a search or to get people out. We might set one of those up if we had, say, fire on the first floor, and the second floor had an occupant on it. We would ladder the second floor to get that person out to rescue them. Another reason we would use it is if we had crews working on the second level, we'd want to set up a ladder to give them a method of egress so that they could get out if they needed to. If there was an emergency, they have that second exit, which is the ladder out a window.
Okay, and so the other question I have then would be, why do we have charged hoses if there's no fire?
Correct. Well, one of our objectives is to train like we work. And so we work with charged hose lines, and so instead of sending the crews in with uncharged hose lines, empty hose lines, which are really easy to move around, we've charged the hose lines, which creates that more real-life application. They're difficult to move around corners, they're difficult to drag. You can see these firefighters here working in the door are having a difficult time getting in and out of the house with charged hose lines. So again, it just makes it more realistic, better prepares us when we actually have to apply these skills in a real-life emergency scenario.
Okay, and is this a common type of training where we get old houses to really work with and work on?
Yeah, and I'd say in my experience, it kind of comes and goes depending on what's happening in the city. In the past, we've had some where we actually burned the house, where we got to light fire in there and do some training, and then in the end, the entire house was let to burn down so that whatever else could come in, a new home, development. We haven't done that as much, but I've had some recent experiences where the home is empty. It's not going to be a home anymore, it's going to be torn down, and we're given permission by either the homeowner or whoever is owning it, a developer, to go in, use the property to do some training, and then eventually they're going to come in and tear it down. So we're fortunate. I think this is a really great opportunity for us to get in and do this, because again, it gives us that scenario when we come to a real house fire, we will not have had a chance to walk around and see the floor plan and practice there. So this gives us a similar opportunity where it's unfamiliar, we don't know what we're encountering, and we get to practice.
Okay, Tabor, so you mentioned small tools. Can you give me a couple examples of the actual tools themselves and how we would use them in a structure fire?
Sure. One example would be a chainsaw that all our trucks have. This roof's a little bit different because we've got a tile roof here, but one way we might use the chainsaw is to vent the roof. So we would be cutting a hole in the roof to let the heat, the smoke out, and we're going to try to time that so that we have a crew going in. At the same time, we're trying to ventilate. We don't want to feed oxygen into the fire, but ventilating that in that type of scenario opens up, gives us a little bit more room to see, a little more room to work in the sense that we're letting some of that heat out, and then the crew with the hose line could get in and do some work. A simple example of other small tools are hand tools that we use. An axe, a Halligan, we use those pretty regularly. So we would be using those anytime a crew is going inside. They're taking those with us. The Halligan and the axe together are your irons, and so we're going to be using those for any number of things: to force a locked door open, to move things. A simple tool in a setup like this, where the house is smoke filled, is using that tool to help with the search. So you're simply using it to extend your arm. So now instead of your arm ending here, you get another couple of feet on top of it, and you can just swing that out and get an idea: is there an obstacle there? You're bumping into something that says ow, or is it a solid dresser that you're hitting a wall? Right. Just gives you another tool to use to facilitate. And then again, if you're running into say a situation where you've become trapped and your entrance is now blocked by fire or something else, you've got that axe or that tool to help you create an exit to get out. Whether you're breaching a window or knocking a hole in a wall and finding a way to get yourself out, you still have that tool to use to get you as the firefighter out, or if you found a victim, you've got that to help get them out.
Well, Taylor, thanks for giving us a brief tour of what we're doing tonight and how we can use our tools and unique trainings.
Yeah, you're welcome, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
When we come back, Fire Chief Mike Meyer visits firefighter day training with the Dakota County Special Operations Team.
Welcome to another edition of Chief's Corner. I'm Fire Chief Mike Meyer, and today I'm joined by John Voigt from Dakota County Special Operations Team. Welcome, John.
Welcome.
Tell us a little bit, today you joined us for training, and tell us a little bit about what we covered as far as training and kind of the purpose behind the SOT team.
Today we covered equipment specifically from this truck in relation to confined space rescue. Just to give an equipment familiarization to the firefighters of the Lakeville Fire Department of the equipment we have and what we would employ if we were called by Lakeville to come and assist with a confined space rescue.
Okay. And what kind of for our audience as far as what is a confined space and how does that equate as far as when we call you in?
Confined space is any area that a person would have to enter that is not normally meant for human occupancy. So if a city worker has to go down on a manhole cover, if someone has to go into a vessel to check something or do manual or regular inspection on the inside, some place where they wouldn't normally be, they've entered the space through generally a smaller opening, and now something's happened and they can't get themselves out of that space.
Okay, excellent. As far as Special Operations Team, tell us a little bit about the team and how that works as far as with the county.
Okay, team was put in place in 2006. It's made up of 36 people from all of the different law enforcement and fire agencies in the county. So we have career and volunteer, firemen, police, and EMS from around the county. Those 36 members get together once a month and train on different topics, whether it be confined space, trench rescue, technical rope rescue, structural collapse, EMS skills, law enforcement skills. We practice all of those things so that we can support the agencies in the county. This team was originally, the concept of it was so that those specialty resources that agencies need, that they necessarily can't afford to supply and train, is now available to them, and the whole county helps to fund it.
Okay, so in other words, as far as like Lakeville Fire, there's no way we could as a department maintain or afford to have firefighters trained to the level that the Special Operations Team, so that's kind of where you fill that void to help agencies that request your help.
Correct.
A little bit about the team as far as equipment. Where does you guys have it in one building, or give me a little bit of information on that?
So we've got, at the present time, we have 3 trucks. This particular truck is for collapse rescue and rope rescue. This truck is kept in Burnsville, the Burnsville Station 1. We have another truck that has the rest of our trench rescue equipment and some other extrication type equipment like airbags, some specialty things for breaking and breaching, cutting and burning of different things like concrete or steel. That equipment is kept in a truck that is in Apple Valley. We also have another truck of equipment that is our hazardous materials team. Everything that comes with that, shelters for decon, air monitors for confined atmospheres, all of that, or contaminated atmospheres, all of that equipment is kept in a truck that's in Egan.
Okay. So not only are the members part of other agencies within the county, but the equipment's stored at those agencies. So when you're requested as a team, that supporting agency, whether it's Lakeville Fire or another fire department within Dakota County, they bring out the resources and your personnel respond to the scene. Is that correct?
That's correct.
John, can you give me like an example that Lakeville Fire or the city of Lakeville that we called you out as far as that we needed the SOT team to respond to?
Yes, last summer at the there was a trench collapse at a home construction project, and there was one person trapped that unfortunately ended up being deceased.
Okay.
But that was a response where the Lakeville Fire Department initially responded, realized that they needed a specialty resource, things that they didn't have access to or weren't trained to do, and that's what we are trained to do. So we showed up with our team of people and assisted the fire department.
Okay, and I guess I'm going to jump back a little bit on the training. So most fire departments are trained to an awareness level, is that correct?
That's correct.
And then the SOT, you guys are trained at what level?
Depending on the topic, we're either trained to a technician level or a specialty level.
Okay.
So when it comes to any of the rescue skills for trench collapse or technical rope rescue or confined space, you get trained at a technician level, which means that you're trained to operate in that space. When it comes to hazardous materials, you can get trained to a specialist level, and at the specialist level, now you've been given more training on the specific construction of containers that hold hazardous materials, whether it be something stored in a building or a truck. You have more specifics about the type of material, the safety relief vents, just the overall construction, so that if it's involved in some sort of accident, you have a little better idea of the damage incurred and what the possible outcome of that may be.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming out and training us on confined space rescue, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Chief. Now let's take a look at what's been happening around the fire department. We've had a couple of fires since our last show. This one involved a mattress that was outside next to a house in southern Lakeville. It seems someone placed the mattress against the electrical box on the outside of the home. Not that this caused the fire, but when discarded cigarettes are placed near a mattress that is leaning against the house and then catches on fire, there will be significant damage, not only to the house, but also the main electrical system. We had another structure fire in central Lakeville a few weeks later. This one started on the front porch and then spread to the house. Luckily, firefighters got the fire under control and it didn't cause more damage to the entire house. The cause of this fire was the improper disposal of cigarettes near the front door. This grass fire was located in southern Lakeville, adjacent to some homes near Lakeville South High School. The fire occurred during a few warm days of dry weather. Firefighters quickly got the fire under control and no homes were damaged from the incident. The cause of the fire is unknown. A couple other calls of interest include this mutual aid fire in Farmington, and the driver of this vehicle missed the T in the intersection and drove right into a residential garage. Luckily, no one was injured. LFD has implemented an optional monthly training session for all firefighters. While not required, this extra day of training is an optional way for firefighters to receive additional training and at times have a little fun. The most recent session included fitness exercises and team building. The annual Fire on Ice golf benefit occurred in early March on Kingsley Lake. This event is a fundraiser for the Lakeville Public Safety Foundation and took place at the Chart House Event Center. Special thanks to all that came out for a round of golf on the lake, and all proceeds from the event went directly to the Lakeville Public Safety Foundation. LFD recently hosted its annual awards banquet. At the event, Chris Fletcher was recognized as Rookie of the Year, and John Clancy was awarded Firefighter of the Year. Congratulations to both Chris and John. And finally, LFD will be hosting its annual blood drive on Saturday, May 7th from 8:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at Station 4. You can sign up for the blood drive at redcross.org or show up at the station and give blood. And that's just some of the things happening around the fire department.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Adam, firefighter at Lakeville Station 2, and today's Ask the Firefighter question comes from Jessie, and she wants to know how many vehicles are in the fire department. Thanks for your question, Jessie. To answer your question, let's go to all the stations and we'll add up the vehicles for a total. Let's start at Station 1, which is located across the street from City Hall. We have a ladder, a tender, an engine, and a brush truck. Next up is Station 2 at the intersection of Dodd Boulevard and Flagstaff. Here we have an engine, a rescue, and a brush truck. Moving on to Station 3, which is just south of Fleet Farm, we'll find an engine, a rescue, and another brush truck. At our last stop, we'll be near the intersection of Ipava and 185th Street at Station 4. Here we have a ladder, an engine, and a brush. So far, our total is at 13 fire vehicles, but we also need to include a few vehicles that the chief, the fire marshal, the fire inspector, and the district chiefs use on a daily basis, which includes 5 SUVs and a pickup truck. We also have specialized vehicles like our Kubota off-road vehicle, our boat, an old antique fire engine that gets used for parades and other special events. Thanks for your question, Jessie. If you have a question for Ask the Firefighter, use the contact information on your screen.
This is Spot the Fire Dog, because I like to spot and stomp out the fire and woo! I'm here at station number 4, and today I'm gonna find out all about what the firefighters wear from Firefighter Kyle. And, oh, there he is. Hey, Kyle. Hey, it's me, Spot. I want to see your gear. Hey, Firefighter Kyle, it's me, Spot the Fire Dog. How are you today, man?
Good, Spot. How are you?
I'm okay, but seems to me, weren't you part of the dirty crew that left me at the Caribou Coffee a couple months ago?
Kyle, let's lose the snug net and get out of here.
I don't recall that, Spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Hey, the chief said you're gonna show me your turnout here, and I'd love to see how it is. So how about if we start from the bottom and go up?
All right,
how's that sound?
Sounds good, Spot.
All right, what's the first thing that you put on?
Well, the first thing that we put on when we get to the fire station is our bunker pants. These are connected with our boots.
Yeah?
These are structural firefighting boots and then pants as well.
No, wait a minute. These look like you got smashed in like a big smasher there.
Yep.
You're not that short, are you?
No, these pull right up. It's easier for us to just get into our boots and then pull our pants up, so everything just stays connected.
Very good. And now, are these like any special kind of boots that you have on? Because, oh my goodness. They could use some Febreze in there, Kyle.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, where'd you get those boots?
These are actually structural firefighting boots. They're steel toe, and they're meant for structure fires.
Very good. And how about the pants? Are those special?
Yep, they're special too. We actually got some knee pads in them as well. Structural firefighting pants as well, yeah.
Very good. Well, what's next there? It looks like that's a coat over here.
Yep, so next we have our jacket. So once we get our pants on, then we throw over our jacket here, and this is a firefighting structural jacket as well.
Now wait a minute. Now that's your last name there on the bottom?
Yep, so this is my last name, so this is my coat.
Very good. And why does it say Lakeville? Is that so you remember you work for Lakeville and not Prairie Home Companion place?
No, Spot. This is actually if we go to like a mutual aid call or something out in Burnsville or Farmington, that they know who we are and we know who they are as well, what department you belong to.
Gotcha. Now, is there anything special? I see you got the reflective stuff on the coat, but is there anything special built inside the coat?
Yes, we actually have this right here. On some fire jackets, it would say DRD, Drag Rescue Device.
Oh, it says Duluth Trading Company. Oh, no.
No. But yeah, this is if a firefighter goes down in a fire or anything, we actually pull this, and then it's like a harness that is inside my jacket, so they could pull me out of a fire if I ever went down.
I got one of those when my owner takes me for a walk. If I start sniffing on hydrants, he can pull me away from it. Oh. Kind of the same principle, right?
Yep.
All right, so what's the next, Kyle?
All right, so then our next thing that we have here is our firefighting helmet.
Oh, I like that. That's my favorite part of the firefighter gear.
Yep. Yeah, this is our newer style fire helmet. We actually have a couple different shields here for eye protection. We would use this for extrication or if we're cutting anything, and then we also got our flashlight built right in here.
Ooh, that's cool. Now, how do you power that? Do you have like a bicycle you got to sit on to make that work, or is there like a battery? Yeah.
No, yeah, it's battery powered, and then we just got a little button here.
I see. Now, you know, that looks kind of heavy. Do you think I could try that on?
If you want
put it on my head? Let's see how that works. Are you ready?
How's that?
No! Oh, Kyle, help me! It's heavy!
I got you, Spot.
Oh boy, that was very heavy. Oh, thank you, but hey, that must be tough to breathe when you have that thing on. How do you breathe in the fires?
So actually how we breathe is we got this here. It's our SCBA mask.
Ooh.
We just put it right on over the face and it seals tight, and then we actually would have a air pack as well, and it would hook right in here, and then that's how we get all of our fresh air.
Very good. In the old days, we used to call it the tank, right?
Yeah, air pack, tank.
Okay, Kyle, very important question. Now that I've seen what the turnout gear is, do you have to wear anything special underneath the turnout gear? Like, is there firefighter issued boxer shorts or something like that?
No, Spot. Actually, if it's winter time, we could just wear our normal jeans. Virtually, it's just street clothes. We will have these sometimes in our lockers, and it's just a t-shirt, so if we go on scene, we could take off our jacket, people would still know we're with Lakeville Fire. Summertime, we would just maybe wear shorts underneath our bunker gear. Yeah, any street clothes, because we don't know when we're going to get a call. We could be at Target, we could be at home. Yeah, we're not sure. So.
Very good. Hey, I got the t-shirt too. This is one of the hand-me-downs that they couldn't sell at one of the fire department open house. I don't think people like the color. Okay, Kyle. Final question.
Yes.
How long does it take for you to get into your turnout gear?
Anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute.
I don't believe you. You know what I need you to do? I need you to pick it up and go over there, and I want to see exactly how long it takes, and I'm going to time you, okay?
All right, Spot.
Fantastic. You did that in about 30 seconds. That's great, man.
Thanks, Spot.
Yeah, I got one question, though, for you. When do you put your tank and your mask on?
Actually, we'll put our tank in our mask. We'll actually do that in the truck. We'll put our pack on. It's built right into the seat, so we'll put our pack on, and then we'll put our mask right on and when we get on scene then.
Oh, that is so awesome. I wish so much that I could be a firefighter like you. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for showing me your turnout gear today.
Thank you, Spot.
And this is Spot, and hey, I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I'm Spot because I like to spot and stop out the fires. We'll see you next time, everybody. Think I could try that helmet on again?
Thanks for joining us for another edition of On Call. If you have questions, comments, an idea for the program, or would like to send a question in for the Ask the Firefighter segment, please call 952-985-4700 or send an email to the address at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for joining us, and all fire units are clear.